Thanks for joining me in this edition of the 6 p.m. Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. 4 primary school pupils have died in a stampede at Government Primary School, Ekudu, in Cameroon's political capital, Yaoundé. The incident occurred yesterday during a drama presentation in that institution, and as a result of the high number of pupils who came to witness the drama, a stampede occurred and 4 of them died while 9 others were injured. EQUINOXE has more.
The suspension of classes in Government Primary School Ekudu in Yaoundé follows the death of 4 pupils in a stampede which generated in the school premises during extracurricular activities. 9 pupils are currently in critical conditions in hospitals. Basic Education Minister has ordered for compensation to the families now in agony. School authorities were on the run when angry mob, notably parents of pupils and those who have lost their kids, stormed the school, pointing accusing fingers at them. Basic education authorities, security and administrative officials visited the scene after news of the incident infiltrated their eardrums. One of the pupils of Government Primary School Ekudu recounts what happened. He says pupils who had not paid 100 francs to enter and watch the drama clustered outside speaking. But organizers of the drama show, in the course of chasing them away with cane, rather provoked a stampede as the victims fell down and their mates trampled on them for fear of being whipped. The extracurricular activity rather turned Government Primary School Ekudu upside down, with pupils and teachers running helter-skelter.
À un moment donné, je vois comment ma directrice de cours 4, elle est courue en pleurant, elle est venue m'arrêter, elle est venue tomber devant moi.
Motorcycles and parents forced their way into the school compound in hot motion to rescue their children.
Même si c'est avec la guerre, on doit entrer là pour récupérer nos enfants.
Unfortunate ones only have tears to shed.
Some inhabitants of Colborne, a neighborhood here in the economic capital, Douala, are going through a tough time as a result of the destruction of the houses by bulldozers of the Douala City Council, and the houses are being demolished or destroyed partially for the enlargement of roads in that part of Cameroon's economic capital. Douala and the inhabitants are condemning that act by the Douala City Council as it is causing them enormous pains and sorrow. We have details in this report once more by EQUINOXE.
Avant-hier de voir les gens avec la peinture rouge.
Agents from the Douala City Council are hungry for 40 meters portion of land to enlarge roads.
On ne sait pas là où cette route va.
But the victims whose houses have been marked for demolition say they have been taken by surprise. That is, no advance notification issued them.
Aucune notification.
Those to be affected are agitating that the Douala City Council is not respecting its road map drafted back at least defining construction limits, which they respected before erecting their homes.
Normalement, dans le plan cadastral, nous avons respecté les bornes avant de construire. Nous sommes les autochtones.
The road has not respected the original map of the road. We, the inhabitants of Colborne, we are pleading that if the government wants to destroy the road onto this side of the road, he has to at least take 10 meters, not to destroy all the houses.
With respect to the road map, the houses will not be touched, as well as Government Primary School Nyalan Colborne, which today is about to witness parts of its structure demolished.
So this is the original map of the road of Colborne. You see that the road does not touch the primary school. So because of the enyo that is this way, they have decided now to push the road on the side of the primary school. And because the road has been pushed to the primary school side, many houses will be destroyed on this area. They are already touching people's houses, which is not good.
Other victims, for fear of sleeping in the cold, are quietly reconstructing inwards to surrender the 14 meters to the Douala City Council for its roads project. Whatever be the case, development, they say, is often accompanied by destruction, and there must be victims in cases as such.
Close to a year after the village of Njongo and other villages in the Nguti subdivision, Kupe Moningoba division, southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, were hit by a massive and destructive landslide, the inhabitants are still suffering the effects of that natural disaster. Little or nothing has been done so far by governments to save them from the deplorable and difficult situation in which they are living today after their houses were destroyed, as well as farmlands and even roads blocked by the incident that occurred in that part. Now, Derek Jadu in the report coming up takes us down memory lane into what happened on that fateful day in that part of the country.
Njongo and 7 other surrounding villages in Nguti subdivision were hit by a natural disaster that swept their houses, their farmlands, and then destructively transformed their landscape. Witnesses recount the calamity.
Nothing be the shake. Very well 3 days, it is shake. With the year it job like say they put some machine where they pump water to go up, they to come out, come to outside.
Priscos Mbalem, a final year geology student from the Higher Teachers Training College in Marwa, came home and interpreted the disaster.
So when there is a great deposit of gas, after that there will be now the release of the gas. So the issue of this gas now will lead to the turning of those stones.
Taza Zakios, a geology student from Kas Bamili, on his part, concluded that it was an earthquake.
What made me to convince that it was an earthquake, we had a bedrock through where the stream is passing, we had a plane. Now I was complaining that this should be the first plane because this area has been destroyed. The other area that way has also been destroyed. The same way the water now is flowing on top of the bedrock.
Today medics fear that the disaster might give birth to an epidemic in the area.
We don't know, these indigenous, they consume this water, which means in the long run they can actually consume some of these elements or heavy metals like lead that can lead to lead poisoning.
With 1 dead, others missing, and 13 families now homeless, the Njongo people are crying for the government to come to their aid.
And the government should give us some aid so that we can manage a small shelter on ourselves. Now there is no money.
This is the first time this generation is witnessing such a disaster. Judging from the series of vibrations that were felt here, and the sudden release of energy on the upper mountain, plus the movement of rocks along what is suspected to be a fault line just where I am standing, the destruction encountered was an indication of seismic waves in action, leaving the people of Njongo with no option but to believe that they were struck by an earthquake. I am Derek Jato from Njongo, Nguti subdivision, in Kupe Moningoba division of the Southwest region, for Equinox Television News.
Derek Jato with that special package on the situation in Njongo village in the Kondo Titi, or rather Nguti subdivision in the southwest region of the country. And of course, we remain in the southwest region from Njongo to Bafaka Balwe, a village in the Kondo Titi subdivision in the Indian division. It is a village where inhabitants are suffering because of the enclaved nature of that part of the Republic of Cameroon. The village lacks several many social amenities, including good roads, health facilities, and of course other issues, other things like potable water are lacking in that community. We paint the picture of the situation in the following report. a village of 1,000 troubles with villagers in Sofo. Bafaka Balwe in Ikondo Titi in Indian Division is one of the most enclaved parts of the southwest region of Cameroon. Underdevelopment challenges have deprived inhabitants of basic necessities.
Road is a very big fundamental problem in Bafaka, because you can imagine paying Okada from Bekura to Bafaka is not less than 10,000 to 15,000 and in time of raining season.
We have difficulty also in the transportation of those who are sick. There are some illness that a vehicle cannot take somebody out of this village.
Many people are sick. We don't have a route where they can carry the people to the hospital.
In the absence of pipe-borne water, the people of Bafaka Balwe cover long distances to fetch poor quality water from contaminated sources.
Our water is very bad and the water is soon get dry since there is no pipe-borne water.
We don't have water to drink here because one, Bafaka is even located on a hill and now it's dry season. If there is no rain by the end of March, we'll have no water to drink. We only go right, they call it Ricosto, to go and fetch water. It's very far.
And because of this, they are exposed to waterborne diseases and their damaging effects on their health.
The water again is not first of all good. We are drinking water, having cholera, diseases.
We are facing a lot of difficulties.
The locality's integrated health center is also handicapped by insufficient personnel.
In the hospital, the nurse does not have water, and without water, the hospital cannot operate well. We also have problem of staff. We don't have enough staff, you see, only the madam alone.
Buildings of its primary school, constructed with wood, are in a dilapidated state under the weight of age and pressure from natural factors like rain, sunshine, and wind. In the night, the entire village is in total darkness due to the absence of electricity. These and other problems plaguing Bafaka Balwe and its people are awaiting solutions from government and elite.
We are just pleading for the government that they should look into this situation of road. We are still pleading for water system.
We are pleading for our elite that they can make something good in order for us to have good water.
We are pleading for the government, the political council and the elites who are outside to help us in this condition of drinking water.
We are pleading for the government, our elites. They should send us some pipe-borne water so that we can reduce the death rates in Bafaka.
Meantime, poor and precarious living conditions continue inflicting pains and sorrow on the people of Bafaka Balwe. And the problem of potable water scarcity being suffered by inhabitants of that village. We're talking about Bafaka Balwe in the southwest region of the country, cuts across the national territory from big cities like Yaoundé and Douala right into the hinterlands. And our reporter Emerencia Konglak spoke to some experts and compiled this report on the reasons for this scarcity, limited supply of potable water in Cameroon.
The problem faced by most inhabitants in the society today is the absence of potable water. Water consumed nowadays is colored, dirty, and at times has odor. Experts say this is as a result of rusted metallic pipes used back then to connect water to various areas, which in turn contaminate water as they get old. They also say water will get infected if there is an opening on the pipes where dirt particles will infiltrate. Despite all this, they are confident of the fact that water in its natural state is of good quality and is treated by trained professionals. These experts also say professionals pay total attention on the processing of the precious liquid and are ready to stop the machines immediately they get a danger alert. Criticisms are placed on the digging of boreholes as a means of getting potable water. To these experts, this only helps in poisoning the human system. Water is the most essential element to health and might be everywhere, but one must never take it for granted.
Cameroon has signed 5 bilateral agreements with the People's Republic of China. The agreements were signed today during President Paul Biya's 48-hour visit to the People's Republic of China. And of course, the agreements were signed by the President of the Republic in the areas of infrastructure, local development, water supply, reinforcement of production capacity of local enterprises, and of course the capacity of human resources, and also in the domain of economic and technical cooperation. The President of the Republic is still in the People's Republic of China for the visit he's undertaking there to meet with the President of that country and other officials. He's been accompanied by First Lady Chantal Biya and of course 6 government ministers. Now we talk news out of the country. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy is being investigated over allegations of illegal funding from the Libyan government under President Muammar Gaddafi, notably talking about funding for his 2007 election campaign. He has, however, denied all wrongdoing. And we have details with Rabiatu Aliou.
Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy is now under formal investigation over illegal campaign funding from the regime of ex-Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi.
The means he's been formally charged. They've read the offenses, they've read the law. The examining magistrate has read the offenses under which he's charged. They read the law under which he's charged. They presented it to him, and they must ask him if he's guilty or not guilty.
Nicolas Sarkozy is accused of having received £42 million from the Libyan government for his 2007 election campaign. The judges questioned him for 15 hours on Tuesday and all day Wednesday over claims that his campaign had reached strict political financing rules in France.
The law doesn't permit money from a foreign country, a foreign government, to finance your campaign. But if you receive money from a foreign government to finance a campaign, that is going to influence the course of events in your country. So that means that that country that is financing you has an interest and is going to influence you during your presidency or even whatever you win. And those monies that come from abroad have conditions.
Former President Nicolas Sarkozy has denied allegations that he received campaign funding from late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. He says he's accused without any physical evidence.
But this is just the beginning of an investigation before an examining magistrate. It's like a preliminary investigation. It's like an investigation carried out by a judge, unlike an investigation carried out by the police or the gendarmerie or the judicial police officers. It is now the judge formally carrying it out, judge in chambers. So we call that type of judge an examining magistrate.
He could be slanked a 10-year jail sentence and a fine of 150,000 euros if found guilty.
In sports, we take a look at the deplorable and difficult conditions in which players of Aigle in Konsamba in the Mongo Division littoral region of the Republic of Cameroon are training. They undertake their training sessions in a stadium under dilapidation, and of course even access into the stadium is more of an uphill task. Smanjikan Gabriel has more.
In the heart of Bonango quarters at the Nkonsamba 2 Council area lies the municipal stadium, fondly known as the Aigle of Konsamba Fields. Players of the one-time darling club of the locality, Aigle Konsamba, now go under the gate to gain access into the playground. Notwithstanding this annoying situation, the players say they are motivated by the passion they have for the game called football.
They suffer to come and train because like football. Everyone is a good team. We have the history. The point that this new season they want to begin, we try to expect that because we like football. Maybe us and each other. What ambition. It's very good how we are made like this in Konsamba. We go and train. We don't know if in Cameroon other players do like this.
The abandoned playground, sources say, was shut down by an order given by the divisional delegate for youth and sports without advancing any reasons. The head coach of Aigle of Konsamba, Kidimu, tells us,
you don't have to say I read the money.
He asked me to apply to enable me to gain access into the playground. It's already 2 weeks since I dropped the application, but still no response. That is the reason why we have all decided to go under the gate to gain access into the playground. It is Aigle's training ground, but they can't gain access into it. Whenever veterans want to use it, the gates are wide opened.
The time when veterans become the harbor, because then the keys watching for chop.
The exercise of going under the gate by the players and technical bench of Aigle of Konsamba to gain access into the municipal stadium has been going on for the past 2 months, and none of them knows when such maltreatment will come to an end.
And this is where we draw the curtain on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television. Thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.